Hello,
Hello, brother. How are you?
I'm glad to see you. I feel like I am full of energy, thank you.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, everyone is safe and okay near your area?
Yeah, it's good, brother, that we finally got in touch. I had a
Yeah.
hard time with the internet. Thank you for supporting me and agreeing to give an interview. You are from Australia, I am from
Yes.
Ukraine. And we
Beautiful.
can record interviews from anywhere in the world. And
Yes,
first,
it's
I
amazing.
have to introduce you to our audience. Today, guest has one of the most unique journeys in combat sports. Before stepping in Muay Thai, he was already competing at a high level in rugby, representing Thailand internationally against countries like Japan, South Africa, Malaysia, and the Philippines. He even took his rugby career overseas and played professionally in England before eventually starting a completely new chapter in life. After moving back to Australia and focusing on supporting his family, he discovered Muay Thai almost by accident, walking into a gym across the road that would completely change in his future. Just months after his first beginning class, he was already competing, and shortly after that he made his professionally debut on the Roots Rebellion show by Sai Naji. Since then, he has built an exciting fight career, challenged for a WBC belt, and continued chasing greatness while balancing life as a father. This is not just the story of a fighter, it's the story of resilience, reinvention, discipline, and heart. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Gan Banlusin.
Thank you. That was beautiful. That was uh, made me a little bit emotional just thinking back to all the memories and how I got here. So thank you so much, Andre.
You mentioned that in high school you played almost every sport involving a ball. That shows
Yes.
you were naturally competitive and athletic from a young age. I'm curious, which sport gave you the strongest mentality before combat sports? Which sport shaped your mentality the most before combat sports?
Oh, 100%. It would have to be playing rugby. Um, I don't know, in terms of the mentality, because it's a team sport, you kind of feed off the energy of your teammates when you train together, when you play together. But I think that sport taught me a lot about myself, about what I was willing to put my body through for a game. Um, so, yeah, rugby definitely shaped the way that I think uh, in terms of aggression and just the willingness to continue to fight, win, lose, draw, rain, hail.
Your story is very unique because you came into Muay Thai after already having a serious rugby background. A lot of athletes are afraid to start over in a completely different sport, but you took that risk and changed your life. What made you finally decide to walk into that Muay Thai gym for the first time?
Uh, so I stopped playing rugby and I was working full time. And I feel like when you are doing something that you do not enjoy, you're doing it because society has forced you to work, so you have to pay bills. I think you become a little bit down and a little bit depressed. And I remember I saw something on Instagram, and it was like a shadow boxing challenge. 7 days, upload a 30-second shadow boxing video, and then at the end of the 7 days, someone will be chosen to go win a free trip to Thailand. And so I started doing that. And then I remember watching the first video that I did of me shadow boxing, and I was like, oh my God, I look terrible. So that made me want to try to learn. And, you know, I was always an aggressive rugby player, was always the mean person on the team, was always the one that pushed the boundaries in the game, you know what I mean? So I thought, let's look up the closest Muay Thai gym in Melbourne where I was living, and there literally just happened to be one across the road. So I walked in there, booked in my beginners class, and then, yeah, changed my life.
Basketball and rugby are completely different sports. One
Yes,
is more about movement and finesses, while the other
yes,
is pure toughness and contact. Now, in Muay Thai, you combine both worlds together.
that's correct. Yeah,
Did basketball and rugby help you more in Muay Thai?
I think, I think definitely. I fight at heavyweight, so anything above 91 kilos. And for someone my size, I move quite explosively. There's a lot of speed, a lot of explosiveness. I'm not slow in terms of, sit and just move slow. I have a lot of explosive power. I like to think I can run fast. I mean, I tell everybody I run very fast until we actually have a running race, and I'm quite slow compared to everybody else. But I feel fast. That's the main thing. If you feel it in here, you can do it.
Being selected for a representative rugby zone team in school is already a big achievement. It means coaches saw something special in you very early. Those moments can really build confidence in a young athlete. Do you still remember the feeling of being selected for that representative rugby team?
Yeah, I thought it was a mistake. I thought they made a mistake. I remember calling the coach back, and I was like, "Hey, are you sure it's me?" Because there was a lot of players, and he was like, "No, no, it's definitely you." I was like, "Oh, okay, that's really nice." So yeah, I just remember feeling like, "Oh, this maybe they made a mistake." I never really had a lot of self belief. I think for that was the first occasion where I felt like, "Oh, wow, it's maybe I am a little bit special."
Representing Thailand in rugby must have been a huge honor for you and your family. Not many people get the opportunity to represent their heritage on the international stage. That experience probably changed your life forever. What did it mean to you emotionally to represent Thailand internationally?
Well, it was, I can't put it into words. Um, you grow up, right, with your culture. You grow up with your traditions in another country. So I didn't grow up in Thailand. I grew up in Australia. So I always had a longing of wanting to feel like I belong, like I am Thai, but I'm not. I was born in Australia. I have Thai parents, but I'm Aussie. So when this opportunity came, I had to grab it with both hands. It was a similar situation where they brought in a pool of players to train, and then you would get selected. So when I got selected, I remember I hugged my mum and I told her, hey, mum, I told her the news. I've been selected to play rugby for Thailand. And she said to me, Thai people don't play rugby. What are you talking about? I said, no, there's a team. There's an international team for both codes. So rugby union is also very popular. And I just told her that I got selected. And I remember my first game was against Japan in Sydney, Redfern Oval, which is like quite a iconic oval for rugby league. And we played against Japan, and it was also the first international rugby game that was refereed by all women. So there was one lead referee was a woman, and both the referees along the sidelines were women. So it was a bigger deal. It was Channel 10 News was there to film the game and interview everybody. And I remember running out onto the field, like lined up, listening to the national anthem, looking across to the Japanese players, and in my head, I remember thinking, "I'm ready to die. I will do whatever it takes to win." And yeah, it was incredible feeling.
Your sports story is very, very unique and interesting for me and our followers in Instagram and YouTube because you played against strong international teams like Japan and South Africa. Those are countries with serious rugby cultures and tough athletes, very, very tough athletes. Competing against that level must have taught you many lessons. Which international match taught you the biggest lesson as an athlete?
It definitely has to be. So we played against the Philippines, and they are a very, very strong team. They have a lot of um, Aussie Filipinos that are very athletic, very strong, and have they're at a very high level in terms of their grassroots level of developing talent. I remember no one expected us to win, right? No one thought we were going to do well or anything. But the training camp that we had, the boys worked hard together, uh, we hung out a lot. So we only get together 3 weeks before we play. And it's sometimes it's new boys, sometimes it's the older boys that we've already known played against, but you have to build chemistry. And I remember that training camp, everyone was saying, oh, they're too good, this, that, but it didn't matter. We trained hard, we trained together, we ate together, we stayed together. And then when we played, yeah, we got smashed. We lost something like 53 to nil to 0. But I remember every time they scored, I looked at my team and I, you know, got them together. I said, we go again. We keep pushing. We keep fighting. And we competed. Yes, we were losing, but we nobody dropped their head. Everybody was together. Everybody kept fighting, kept tackling hard. That taught me that no matter how bad things are, you can get through it. And you look at your teammates and you see them, you kind of emulate what they're feeling, right? And together, you just stay together and you never give up. It would have been easy for some boys to be like, what's the point of playing anymore? Like, they just don't care. They take me off, go sit on the bench, or but no, everybody was in there even to the point was like 5 minutes left to go and we are ready to fight. Something happened on the field, we're ready to fight them because the passion is always there, it never left.
You work very hard, very, very hard, like a real workhorse. Very, very hard. How difficult was the transition from Australia to professional rugby life in England?
It was uh, it was a shock, a culture shock, right? I went to England expecting, that it was going to be one way. It was going to be like this. It was going to be like that. And I had that picture in my head. And then I get there and I faced adversity straight away. I didn't get selected to play the top team, to be in the top team. And that hurt my heart, made me feel like, oh, I'm a failure. I remember the first 3 weeks, I didn't get selected for the top team. And I was at training hard and doing everything right and doing extra work by myself. And the opportunity just never came to make the top team. So I said, I'm in the seconds team, but I still have a duty. I might not get paid, I might not get the money, but I still have a duty to do right by the club, by the team, and by my other teammates. So I kept playing hard, and then eventually, yes, I got selected for the top team, and then didn't look back. And just the adjustment that I had was when I was in Australia, I have my friends, I have my family. They will tell me, "Hey, Gun, pick your head up, train harder, go again, keep training, keep pushing." But when I was in England, I had no one. I had one friend. He was in the team, and he's very good, so he's always in the top team. And he would tell me, it's okay, you'll come." But it's then and there, I really had to pick myself up, make myself train myself in the morning, train myself in the evening, just do the little bit of extras that I needed to do to make the top team so that I could, if you don't make the top team, you don't make money. So you have to try to be in that top team every week.
It's raining heavily in England, and many people
Oh,
have a
so
headache
bad.
from the weather. The weather
Yeah,
is always cloudy. It's cloudy
yes,
and rainy. How do you like
yes.
the climate of England?
I did not like it. That's another thing was the culture shock, right? In Australia, the weather is dry most days. So when you play rugby, you run the ball a lot. You pass it a lot, you run a lot. It's more exciting. But in England, there's always raining. So they play the game more tactically, more strategy, and they kick the ball for field position. So you run a lot back and forth in the rain, in the mud. Don't get to touch the ball and run and tackle as much. So the weather, I remember one game, the rugby manager came out and said, "Boys, we might call off the game." I said, "Why?" He goes, "We've got to go do a test on the field to see if the field is dangerous to play." I said, "What's the test? I don't understand. This is a new concept for me." He said, "I have to get a screwdriver and I have to put it into the grass. If it doesn't go into the grass, we can't play because the ground is frozen." And I was like, "Oh my goodness." So yeah, that was crazy. We don't have that in Australia.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
I want many people to hear your story because you should be known. You have been through a lot. What was the hardest sacrifice you had to make during your rugby career?
I I was given an opportunity to play for the rugby union side in Thailand. I went and played in a small seven side. Do you know rugby sevens? Rugby sevens is the smaller version of rugby. Seven people per side. The field is really big. Um, I'm from a very rural part of Thailand, in near Nong Khai, which is up northeast, and I was there visiting friends and family. And then I had a rugby friend tell me, "Hey, there's a tournament 2.5 hours from where you are. The Thailand Rugby Union head coach is there." He said it would be a great opportunity for you to play in front of him. I said, "Oh my goodness." Yes. Spoke to my family. My family, they 100%, support me. Everyone got into the van. Everyone went and got their cars. We drove 2.5 hours to where the tournament is. And then I realized I don't have boots. I didn't bring boots because I was there visiting family. So we quickly went to the shopping center to buy boots. And I'm not a normal size Thai person. I am Falang. So Falang means foreigner, right? Grew up in Australia, so I'm big, much bigger than the regular Thai person. So we were going from shop to shop, trying to find boots that fit me. I wear size 13 US. Nobody had any. The biggest one they had was a size 12. I said, we're gonna have to squeeze my foot into it just for a couple of games. So put the boots on, and then I didn't have shorts. I didn't have any rugby shorts. Luckily, my uncle he wore some shorts that would fit me. So I borrowed my uncle's shorts to play in this tournament, and I played 2 games. I played really well. I did everything that Thais don't do. Thais are very respectful. So when they play rugby, they don't play mean. They play in the spirit of the game. Whereas I am from Australia, we play mean. Everything is aggressive. And then after my 2 games, the head coach came down, introduced himself to my family, introduced himself to me, and he said, "We have a game against Malaysia in a month, so I would like you to come training and be selected to take part in that." I said, "Amazing, I'll do it." I was due to play in another tournament a week later, and I had already committed to playing in that tournament. So I went down to Phuket, played in that tournament, and my shoulder popped out. My left shoulder popped out. All right. So I'd stopped playing. I went to the hospital. They said it's okay. It's not broken. It just was dislocated and it popped back in. So it's just inflamed. So I flew back to Bangkok to go meet with the Thailand Rugby Union side. And they said, we have, really good doctors, really good physiotherapists. Go and see them, get treatment. Because it was at the point where I can't lift my arm, right? So I went and got the treatment with them. And, they said, look, we can give you an injection before you go out and play. So, but we need you to come in, get treatment every day. We need you to run every day and do your, we'll get you ready. I said, okay. So I spoke to my family. And this is where the sacrifice happened. Okay. My family asked me, they said, Gun, we don't get to see you often. You live in Australia, you only come here every couple of years. You can't play 100% healthy. Do you want to risk injuring yourself more and not being able to play the best of your ability? Or should you rest so that you can spend time with your family that you don't get to see? What do you think you should do? And I was, thinking, what should I do? And I said, you know what? They're right. I don't get to see my family. It's special that I get to spend time with them. So I told the coaching staff, I said, hey, I don't want to play for Thailand if I can't play 100% healthy. So I'm gonna rest and I'll be back. The next match in the next 2 months, whenever, hopefully you guys will call me and they said, yeah, of course, no worries. Thank you for letting us know. The coach called me again. He tried to talk me. He goes, come on, Gun. We would need someone like you. I said, no, I already made the decision. So that made that decision correct. Spend time with my family. I never got that phone call again. I never got another opportunity to play for the Thailand national side. And when I was in England, there was one more opportunity to play for. So in Asia, they have what they call the Southeast Asian Games. It's very similar to the Olympics, but it's small and it's only for Southeast Asian nations that compete in, or they have their own Asian Olympic Games. So the Thailand Rugby Union team, they had budgeted for 3 players that they could bring from overseas. My friend that I was already in England with, he's also half Thai. He got selected straight away. He's played for them before. And then another friend that I played with, he also got selected. And then there was one more spot. And the one spot was between me and this other friend that I have that has also played for them before, but we're totally different style. Okay, he's more finesse, as I'm more power and aggression. And they decided to select him pure basically because they've already seen him play before. They've never seen me play before. So that was another one that I lost the opportunity. And yeah, it never happened again for me. And I even to this day it hurts, you know. But it taught me when I got into Muay Thai that whatever opportunity came, whether I was sick, whether I was sore, whether I was injured, my heart will carry me through whatever it is. So back myself and do it. Don't let opportunities pass you by.
You have been through very serious injuries. It inspires others. You never give up. You are good. Uh, Difficult times. I would say dark times. And you are back in Australia. Coming back to Australia and focusing on supporting your family is something many athletes can relate to. Life responsibilities can completely change priorities. That period probably tested your mindset in a different way. Was it emotionally difficult to slowly step away from rugby?
It wasn't emotional. I think it was a logic thinking logically. Like I can't compete in a sport where I'm sore and I have to commit to training 2 days a week, and then there's strength and conditioning 2 days a week on top of that as well. Playing on the weekend, you're sore for 2, 3 days, and then you got to go and train again. I think I needed um, to work, and that just took priority. And I think that's when you got to provide for your family, you don't really think about that. You just do what you have to do. And then now that I'm saying this out loud, and now I'm thinking about how I now compete in Muay Thai, I think Muay Thai is a bigger commitment. So yeah, I just make it work.
Your story is very, very interesting. It's interesting how life can unexpectedly lead people towards their true path. You walked into a Muay Thai gym almost casually, but it ended up changing your entire future. Some moments really do change everything. Did you instantly fall in love with Muay Thai after your first class?
Yes, it was it was instant. I walked into the gym and I smelled Thai oil, and straight away it made me think of Thailand. It's a very familiar smell. And then I hear the skipping rope, I hear people kicking the bag. And then when I started training, I was obviously very bad. I was terrible. I thought I was strong. I thought like everybody else, oh, I can fight. You know, I fight on the rugby field. I fight on the street. I'm a good fighter. But when you're actually taught how to fight, you're not. You're not good. You have no balance. You have no good footwork, no fundamentals. And I think that is the beauty of martial arts. You're constantly improving yourself, improving your technique. It's you never ever stop learning. Your your worst sparring partner can teach you things. Your best sparring partner can teach you things. There's always learning. So yes, I
Most,
fell in love with it straight away. Yeah.
most people train for years before competing, But your progression was incredible fast. Within months, you were already sparring and fighting. That says a lot about your mentality and confidence. Were your nerves before your first amateur Muay Thai fight?
Oh my goodness. It was very bad. So we we flew a team from Melbourne to Sydney to go and compete in Sydney. There was a one professional fighter in our team, and then the rest of us, I think there was another three. The rest of us were amateur level. This was going to be my first amateur fight, and I remember the night before I ring my coach, and I am freaking out. I'm telling you, I said, "Hey, coach, I'm scared. Like, I don't think I know enough to go in there and have a real fight. I don't know, I don't know what to do here. I don't know what to do there." And I told him, I said, I don't even know how to kick properly yet, or defend, or clinch, or anything. And you know what he said to me, my coach? His name's Don Miller from Superfight. He's very, very big name in Melbourne and maybe even in Australia. He said to me, Gun, relax. You're Thai. It's in your blood. You will be fine. That's all he said. I was like, fuck. I was like, are you sure? He goes, yes, you'll be fine. You're Thai. It's in your blood. And it's the first bell rang. We touched gloves. Bro, I was doing things I've never done even in training. I never checked the kick before. I never leaned back, sway. I never clinched properly. And I was doing it off natural instinct. It was crazy. It was felt like an out of body experience. Like I have to watch the video and be like, did I really do that? Oh my God, I've never done that before. How did I do that? So that was I think that's what happens when you overthink, right? You can almost always talk yourself out of doing something scary. Or when you beat that and you go in there and you do your best, you always look back and be like, wow, I did so well. I'm glad I took the chance.
It's very nerves moment. Making your professional debut only months after starting Muay Thai is honestly crazy. Most fighters would never take that risk so early, but sometimes fearless people improve the fastest. What do you remember most about your professional debut?
So my professional debut was probably I was very lucky. So the person that commentated on my amateur fight happened to be Sai Naji, who is the head promoter for Roots Rebellion. This is probably the biggest show in Australia, easily, hands down, the biggest show in Australia. Beautiful Muay Thai. Sai is a great ambassador for the sport, and he really cares about Muay Thai and the community in Australia. I remember it was 2 nights, maybe, no, it was fight week. I have a training partner. He's had over 25 fights. He's bigger than me, faster than me, stronger than me. He was my trainer. And I remember we were clinching and sparring, and he was hurting me a lot. And I remember I got out of the ring after we finished. I went to the back room to grab my towel, wipe my face, and I started crying. In the middle of the gym, I was crying and I could not stop crying. He came up to me, tapped me on the shoulder. He said, "What's going on?" I said, "I can't do anything against you. I can't touch you. I can't hurt you. I can't defend myself. I can't even defend myself against you." I said, "I'm not ready for this fight. I can't do this fight." He grabbed me on the shoulders, right? He gave me a hug. He told me, "Gun, I've been training triple the time that you've been training. I've had over 25, 20 fights. I'm supposed to be better than you. I'm supposed to hurt you." He said, "The guy that is going to be across the ring from you, he's not going to be Mike Tyson." Yeah. You
Yeah.
can beat him. He's going to be just like you. Believe in yourself because we believe in you. And then I remember when I walked out from my fight, I remember just the production, right? All the crowd, big crowd there, all the big screens in the venue. My face is on there. They're introducing me, gun Banlusin. I was like, wow, this is crazy. And then I got knocked down. Second round, he hit me with a left hook. I went to knee him. I didn't cover up. Beautiful left hook. I literally fell back, and I remember the lights went out, and I popped straight back up like it was a flash knockdown, right? So they gave me the 8 count. I'm like, I don't know what to do here. I've never felt like this. I was a little bit dizzy, a little bit, uh, felt the hit. I look at my corner, and my corner is yelling, "Dern, dern, dern," which is walk, walk, stay close, keep walking. So that's what I did. I just walked, stay close, grab him, kneed him, punched him, didn't give up, and then I ended up putting an 8 count on him. I dropped him, and then I went back to the corner after round two, and I remember my coach, he slapped me on the face because my head, I was like looking around everywhere. He goes, "Focus, focus." He said, "It's even now. You won round one." And then round two, he probably won because he put the 8 count on you. He goes, "We need you to go. We need you to keep walking. You need to put the pressure on and keep hurting him." I said, "Yes, I'll do my best." The very first, as soon as we touch gloves for round three, he kicks me in the leg twice, and my left leg buckled. I literally, you see me crumble a little bit, and then I said, "Oh," no. In my head, I remember thinking, "Oh no, he's going to stop me with leg kicks," but he didn't. I bit down on my mouth guard, and I kept walking. I kept punching. I kept every time he was close, I kept locking his neck, trying to knee. And finally, the final bell rang, and I remember my leg felt like it was on fire, and I was out of breath. And then they announced the decision, and I won. And it was like a huge party. I don't even remember after the fight because that's probably how much partying I was. Just so happy, had my all my friends, my family, all there watching me achieve this goal that none of them have ever done. None of them can even comprehend what it would be like to train that hard, to go into the ring, to fight in front of all these people. So, yeah, big bit of a long story, but yeah, it's a good one.
You have now had more than 10 fights and experience both victories and setbacks. Combat sports can humble anyone very quickly. I think losses often teach fighters more than wins do. What did losing your WBC title fight teach you about yourself?
Uh, it didn't teach me a lot, really. Like, I think I knew why I lost, right? Like, technically, I knew why I lost. But in terms of did I lose completely and that I wanted to give up? No, never. My heart always want to fight again, want to try again, want to keep going. It was a 5 round fight. If they told me, "Hey, it's a draw, we don't know who the winner is," I said, "Let's fight another round. Let's keep going." You know, it's just one of them things. Into like, was I sad about it? Yeah, of course, I was upset, but I never was like, "Oh, this is not for me. I want to keep winning." Blah blah blah. No, never. I just thought I'm gonna get another chance. One day I'll get to fight him again. One day I'll get to prove that I can hurt him, that I can win. I actually had that was my comeback fight after 3 years out of the ring having a baby. I fought that opponent that I fought the belt for, and I lost. I lost again to him. He's very good, very high volume fighter. A lot of points. So yeah, in terms of the loss teaching me stuff, it didn't teach me anything that I didn't already know about myself. That I will always try again, and I will always never give up.
Parents are our support. We can leave a girlfriend, wife, friends, even children leave their parents. But parents will never leave. Fighting while also being a father adds a completely different layer of motivation and responsibility. A lot of fighters say becoming a parent change the way they approach life and competition. How did becoming a father change you as a fighter and as a man?
It made me realize that I'm now bigger or more important as someone for my son to look up to. So he is going to measure himself as a man when he's old enough. His first comparison will be to me. Like, what was dad like? What is dad like? So when I became a father, I obviously needed to support my partner, help her raise the baby, help her the long nights, late nights, whatever needed to be done, I did it. And then in that process, I didn't train. I put the family first. My partner is also, she's really into Muay Thai. She's also a fighter. So for her, it was difficult for her not to be able to train. And I didn't think it would be nice for my wife to be at home with my son while I'm training. We talk to each other. So let's focus on raising the baby together as a team, and then together we'll get back into the ring. Um, it just made me, I didn't want to use my son as an excuse to why I'm not doing Muay Thai. I didn't want to be, oh, it's too hard. I have a baby. I have to work full time. I have to look after the baby. I don't have time to train. That's bullshit. You make time. I wake up 4 a.m. to do my run. I come home, make my breakfast, make my son will be awake 5 a.m. I get to, make him some milk, make him some breakfast before I go to work. And then when I come back from work, I'm straight into the gym and my family is in the gym. My son grows up in the gym. So he will see that every day training is not something you go and do. Training is just a part of our lives. That's something we do every day, whether we feel like it or not. It's just a part of our lives. So I think that's what it taught me when I became a father. It made me think about what my son will think of me as a man. And I want to be someone that he will be proud of, someone that he will go to school and go, oh, my dad is a fighter. My dad played rugby for here. My dad does this. I want that. That's what I, want for my son to be the best man possible for him so that he can be a good man himself.
Taking time away from fighting and then returning is never easy. Ring rust, pressure, expectations, all of it can affect an athlete mentality. But coming back also shows passion is still alive inside you. What has been the hardest part about returning to competition this year?
The hardest part is probably time management. Very, like, there's not a lot of time to do what you need to do. Um, there's always different circles in your life, right? Some circles become bigger. Some parts of your life become more important. Their circles get bigger and they take away. I think for me, when I rejoined, the number one thing that I needed to focus on was my diet and my fitness. And those two things require time. There's no way. you can cheat it. There's no way you can fast forward it and make it easier. So it was literally just embracing the grind of running every day, watching what I eat, weighing my food, meal prepping where I can. That was the hardest part. But then as soon as you get into a routine, it's easy. That's you, you know what you got to do, you just do it, and it doesn't really change. So I had a very good nutritionist. His name is Kyle Buggy. He's also a fighter, a Muay Thai fighter. So he understands, and he also understands that I'm Thai. I need a lot of flavor in my food. I can't just eat chicken breast and broccoli. So he's very good. Always, give me Thai recipes, low calorie recipes to help lose the weight. I think I lost my weight. I was 120 kilos, close to 120 kilos in the 3 years that I had off with my son. And now I'm fighting at 95 kilos. So that was the start of this year. I decided to come back. So in three months, I lost all the weight to make 95 kilos. So yeah, time management is a short answer to your to your question. Sorry.
You are a powerful athlete, very, very powerful. Muay Thai is deeply connected to Thai culture and identity. Since you also represented Thailand in rugby, your connection to your roots seems very important to you. That cultural pride probably drives you every day. Does fighting Muay Thai make you feel even closer to your Thai heritage?
It does and it doesn't, because when people think of Thai people and Muay Thai, they're very good, uh, stylistically, right? Muay Fimu, which is like a technician style, very technical. That's what a lot of Thais are. They have beautiful kicks. They move beautifully. Me, I'm not like that at all. I'm like uh, pure aggression and just pain. Just bringing. That's probably the only thing that is connected with me and Muay Thai and being Thai is pain. Muay Thai is all about pain, giving pain, taking pain. So yeah, that's probably the only connection I have in terms of being Thai. Like all the customs, all the traditions. Yeah, of course, I'm Thai. I understand it. Like the armbands that people call wear prachiat, or the pakama, which is the robe that the cloth that they tie around the waist. Like I understand all the symbolism and that, and it's actually what I enjoy about Muay Thai. Doing Muay Thai in Australia is being able to share my knowledge to other people, to teach them that this is why this is so symbolic. This is why we do the Y crew before every fight. This is why we seal the ring. Just being able to teach people the beautiful things about Muay Thai that make it so different to every other combat sport. Um, but yeah, I definitely have a very strong Thai pride. I would love to live. Sorry, that's my son. I would love to live in Thailand full time for a period of time and be able to fight in Thailand against heavier weight opponents. There are places like Chiang Mai and Phuket that they have a lot of foreigners go there, but the bigger size foreigners, they can only fight small Thais, right? A lot of Thais don't get over 70, 80 kilos. Whereas me, I'm a 100 kilo Thai. So I think I would be a good match, a good test for foreigners in those places like Chiang Mai to test their skill against someone more their size.
Some athletes are naturally gifted physically, but others succeed because of mentality and discipline. Looking at your career, it feels like mentality has always been one of your strongest weapons. You are very hard-working athlete, but you are also a talented athlete. What do you think separates successful fighters from talented fighters?
Definitely the heart. Definitely, it's hard to describe, the fighting spirit. You either have it or you don't, and it gets tested early. It gets tested long before you even step into the ring. Your trainers will test your heart. Your sparring partners will test your heart. If you don't have heart, right? That means when you get kicked hard, you show your opponent that you've been kicked hard. You like, whereas if your heart is strong, whatever they throw at you, you look the same. No change, right? And you continue to fight. I'm not stylistically, I'm not the most beautiful Muay Thai practitioner, Muay Thai fighter, but I knee hard, I punch hard, I elbow hard, and I can take pain. I enjoy being hit. I know it sounds funny, but if you, I think that comes from rugby. I can walk through everything you throw at me. You really have to knock me out for me to stop coming forward, for me to stop pressuring you. Um, I think that's what separates a lot of people is the heart, the willingness to fight, the willingness to be in pain, to be uncomfortable, and keep pushing through, keep doing what you have to do. Because the easy option is to drop down on one knee and just give up. Yeah, the heart is definitely what separates a good fighter from a great fighter.
In my honest opinion, Muay Thai is more difficult than boxing, because in boxing there are only punches. In Muay Thai, there can be knockout of the foot and the elbow. Combat sports are unforgiving because there is nowhere to hide once the fight starts. Every weakness gets exposed under pressure. That's why mental toughness matters so much. How important is mental strength compared to physical preparation in Muay Thai? Tell me please about your mental strengths.
My mental strength. I run every day with no earphones, no music, no distraction. Just me, myself, talking to myself, talking me through the run. Uh, it's easy to want to give up. It's easy to have a rest at the end of this road. You're going to have a rest, but you don't. You tell yourself, you keep running, you keep going. Your mind will tell you, hey, give us a break. The body is sore, your foot is hurting. Let's rest. But you also tell your mind, no, we keep pushing. I think doing that every day builds mental toughness, right? A lot of people think it's funny or, it's not real, but it is. It's easy to listen to the weakness inside you that tells you to stop, that tells you to rest, that tells you, we can be doing something else. We could, no, you are the captain of your mind. The more that you control your mind, the easier things become because you don't always take the easy option. You're always taking the option that needs to be taken. Um, but mental toughness is through everything. At work, things will happen, and you either, get upset, you let it ruin the day, or you get upset, you take 1 second, and you carry on. You keep moving. I think, yeah, mental toughness is it's hard. It's really within yourself to, you know, grit through it and do whatever you need to do. to make it happen.
Kickboxing is very similar to Muay Thai in the sense that you can interfere with the light with your foot. Did you watch the Usyk Verhoeven fight? And do you want to go to boxing?
I would love to go to boxing. I love boxing as a fan, just watching it. I've sparred against boxers and I enjoy it. Would I go into boxing? I would absolutely love to go into boxing. But the big boss, my wife, she does not want me to go into boxing. She said so much head trauma in boxing, but I just enjoy fighting. So I would love to go into boxing. Maybe if there's no fights for me in Muay Thai, I can start doing a little bit of boxing training, work on my footwork, and just try. At the end of the day, it is a sport, it is a game, and I enjoy the pain game. I enjoy hurting people. So I would love to do boxing. And I only caught a little bit of the fight, Usyk and Rico, but for someone,
Continue,
so
brother.
talking about the Usyk fight, yeah, Rico is so good. Like obviously he's not a boxer, so his boxing is not going to be beautiful. But for him to stand there and trade, and last as long as he did, he has to be confident to continue training to to do another boxing match, surely. But yeah, it's bro, it's different sports. Like my last opponent, he is a kickboxer, and he wanted to try. Well, I was told that he wanted to try Muay Thai, but actually on the night, I was told he didn't know that he was fighting Muay Thai, which is funny because we all get sent a contract to sign, which would have said that it's a Muay Thai fight. But yeah, anyway, he I found out very early that he cannot clinch because kickboxers do not clinch. So it was a painful night for him because he's stuck in my clinch and he's eating knees. But yeah, all combat sports, they they are their own beasts, and you have to train accordingly. Uh, I don't know if there would be ever back in the old days when the UFC used to have purely jiu-jitsu guy fighting a purely karate guy. I think they should bring that back. I think that's more entertaining than watching a wrestler just grapple someone and just hold them down on the ground. Yeah.
Rico Verhoeven showed that with good training, you can box on equal terms with the leader pound for pound in boxing. Will we see you in boxing?
I would love to. I would love to get into boxing. I think maybe even a couple of local fights to see. Um, but yeah, I would love to. I would love to box and learn to box.
Yes. Balancing, training, family, family life, work and recovery is incredibly difficult. Many people don't understand how much discipline that lifestyle requires every single day. How do you balance fatherhood with the demands of being a fighter?
I I break it down into small moments in every day. So I'll have a small moment with my son where it's just me and him, and I get to change his nappy. I cherish those moments. I make sure he's laughing. I make sure he's having a good time. But yeah, it's the small pockets during the day that I get to spend time with him. I make the most of. I cherish it. Um, Recovery is probably the one that takes takes the back seat to everything, which is probably not the smartest thing, but I don't have the time or the capabilities to have a day where I don't go to work. I go and sit in the sauna, I get a massage. I just don't have time. So I try to do my own recovery as best I can, foam rolling and cold showers. I don't have an ice bath, but I do have a cold shower every day and just try to do that. I'll take my supplements. Yeah, the most important thing for me is making sure that all the time that I do have with my son is always happy, always laughing, always having a good time.
You have experienced both team sports and individual combat sports at high levels. In rugby, you fight together as a team, but in Muay Thai, everything depends on you alone. That difference must completely change the pressure and mindset. Which pressure feels heavier, representing a rugby team or fighting alone in the ring?
Definitely the team, because you don't want to let the team down. Whereas when you fight and you're by yourself, it's just you. There's no one else to blame, so that's better, right? You are just purely focused on your actions and what you do on the night. Whereas when you play rugby, you are focused on doing well, not just for yourself, but for the team. And if you make a mistake, you feel way worse because you've let down your team. You've let down everybody that trains with you so hard, that gives up all their time and puts their body on the line. So I think definitely the pressure is better or stronger in a team sport where you don't want to let your teammates down.
A lot of fighters say the gym becomes like a second home. Your first home with wife and son, and your gym the second home. Tell me please about your gym. What does your gym mean to you personally?
So my gym is Rama One Gym. They're in Moorabbin or Cheltenham. It's a family. I don't I don't know how else to say it. We go in there, everybody knows everybody, and if you don't know somebody, you introduce yourself, you say hello, you say welcome, what's your name? Welcome to the gym. My gym uh, is quite big, quite a large gym. So my son is always there and he's running around, he's kicking the bag. The gym, it's definitely a second home, and not just the gym itself, but the people inside the gym. You spend so much time with them every day. You see them at their worst because they're really trying hard, really depleting themselves, training hard. So you really become close. You get a really close bond with everybody in the gym. Even when you watch the beginners class, I try to do my best to go out, say hello, give some tips, give back whenever I can. I think that's important, especially in the Western world where the gym can be it can be a little bit intimidating. If you see all the fighters that the fighters just hang out with the fighters, it seems like it's a very clicky, but really at our gym, it's not like that. Everyone says hello, everybody comes, everybody's there to help, right? Like I said, your worst sparring partner can still teach you stuff, can still teach you about Muay Thai compared to your best sparring partner. So everyone is a teacher and everyone can be a student.
Your transition in Muay Thai happened extremely quickly compared to most fighters. Some people spend years hesitating before taking their first fight, but you seem to really to test yourself immediately. Did you always have that fearless mentality inside you?
Yes, but only when it comes to sport. Uh, when it comes to work, I'm not so fearless. I'm a little bit of an overthinker. I overanalyze things. Have to think about everything all at once before I make a decision. But when it came to sport, I always just do it. Always just did it. Whatever needed to be done, I'll go and do it. Um, yeah, it's funny. I see that I have two very different personalities when it comes to work and sport.
Do you remember the moment you realized combat sports were truly for you?
Yeah, I I was like my first hard sparring session. So obviously you have your normal sparring, which is more technical, it's more playful. But I remember I had my first hard sparring session. We did we used to do boxing sparring and then Muay Thai sparring and then clinching. And I remember I got bashed pretty badly. Everybody was so much faster than me, so much stronger than me, and they just, they hit me hard, and I just kept coming. I didn't stop. I kept walking forward, and I remember going home that day, being like, "Wow, I don't know if this is for me. I can't. I didn't do very good. I didn't land any good shots. I didn't kick or anything. I just was like a punching bag." So I thought, oh, I don't know, how am I going to get better at this? And then the very next day, I went back into the gym. I did the run, and I was talking to, my friends that are fighters there, and they said to me, like, "Gun, you are an animal." I was like, "What do you mean?" They're like, "Bro, you were getting bashed, but you never stopped moving forward. You never gave up. You never covered up. You never ran away. You just kept walking forward." And then one of the guys that he was hitting me pretty good the night before, he told me, he said, "Gun, yes, I was hitting you, but the scary thing about you is that you kept looking at me. You never closed your eyes. You just kept staring at me walking forward." He goes, "That's scary. You can't teach that." So that's when I realized, I was like, oh, that for me that was normal. What I was doing, walking forward, trying to hit them back. I didn't know that I was doing something different or something that was not normal. So when they told me that, I said, "Oh, okay, maybe the skills I can work on, but the way that I like to fight, that's a good thing."
Muay Thai requires incredible conditioning and toughness. Your rugby background probably helped prepare your body to physical punishment better than most beginners. Still,
Mm.
Muay Thai pain is completely different.
Oh
What
yes.
what was the hardest part of adapting physically to Muay Thai?
Um, Definitely the day after your fight. Nobody really prepares you or tells you that, hey, you're not going to be able to go to the toilet properly. You're going to need help standing up. Nobody tells you that your legs are going to be so badly smashed that you can't walk. I remember after my amateur fight in Sydney, the day after, I had to catch a flight home to Melbourne. And I was literally walking so slow at the airport. And I obviously have black eye. I look like I've been in a fight. And I remember the airline hostess asking me, "Do you want a wheelchair? Do you need a wheelchair? We can get you a wheelchair. We'll wheel you to." I said no. So don't give me a wheelchair. I'm okay. I'll continue walking this slow. But yeah, nobody prepares you for how much your legs hurt. Nobody talks about it. It's like a surprise the very next day. You wake up and you can't get out of bed because your legs are so sore.
And in the final part of our interview, I wanna to talk about your motivation in this hard sport. Your motivation. Fighters often talk about the importance of discipline outside the ring. Training is only one part of becoming great. Sleep, food, recovery, and mentality all matter too. What daily habits helped you the most as a fighter?
Daily habit: push ups, sit ups, and run. Three things that are non negotiable every day. Whether you are in a camp or you're not in a camp, whether you are professional, whether you are not, they were the non negotiables for me. I wake up, I at least do one run, and I at least do my push ups and my sit ups. Um, they were just, yeah, I just said to myself that they're the non negotiables, they're the things that we never change. And I hate running. Running is the worst. I hate it, but I do it every day without fail.
Running is life.
Yeah.
Many people quit combat sports after their first loss or difficult moment, but setbacks can also create stronger athletes and stronger people. Your journey seems full of resilience. What keeps you motivated during difficult periods in your career? Tell me please about your motivation during dark times.
So I was on a three fight. I'd lost three fights in a row. One by decision, one by knockout, and then my last fight was a doctor stoppage. I got cut just on my eye here. I was feeling pretty down, but I think what motivates me is the show. I enjoy being in the ring. I enjoy all eyes being on me. And as terrible as this sounds, I enjoy hurting people. I really do. I like testing myself against somebody else that is stronger, is faster, is technically better than me. I don't care. I like to fight. I enjoy the physical challenge. Um, everyone, you know, a lot of people and a lot of fighters, they will become obsessed with their opponent. They'll watch all their opponent's fights. They'll see, come up with a game plan. Oh, he does this when, this happens. We've got to work on this. I hear it all the time. I don't care who my opponent is. I don't care what he does. I don't care how good he is. I don't care how good looking he is. All I care about is being able to hurt him. So I do everything in my camp to make sure that my weapons are sharp, my weapons are strong, and my weapons are fit. They'll always be there. And I'll only ever focus on the work that I do for myself to be the best version of me. Because if I start thinking about him and start worrying about what he's going to do, I think that's when you create a little bit of doubt in your mind when you think about the other person. But if you're only ever thinking about you and doing what you need to do, then there's no one to blame but yourself. There's no one to hold you accountable but yourself. And then you go out there and you do your best.
Tell me please about your future. When is the next fight and against whom?
My next fight, so there's a few promotions coming up. July 18th, there's a promotion called Warriors Way. It's another big Melbourne show run by Mark Castanini. I'm hoping to be put on that show. Um, I think, I don't know what is happening with the heavyweight division. in Australia. There are a lot of heavyweights out there, but when it comes to getting a fight for me, it seems like it's very difficult to find me a fight. My last fight, they had to fly a guy in from Papua New Guinea, even though there are heaps of guys here in Australia that are my weight that could fight me. So I don't know. I don't know what is happening. I don't know whether the promoters are telling me one story and but every fight show I tell my coach, put my name down, put this weight down. If they come back with whatever weight, just say yes. I just want to fight. I enjoy fighting. I enjoy putting on a show. The best thing you asked about motivation, right? The best thing for me that I fight for is not about money. It's not about um, you know, anything other than after the fight when the guys that were in the crowd come up to me and they're like, mate, you are an incredible fighter. You show heart. You show that's what I fight for. I fight to put on a show. I want people to remember, I watch Gunfight. He's crazy. He doesn't give up. He just keeps coming. So next show, July 18th, hopefully. I'll be put on there. Otherwise, there's another Roots Rebellion show on August 15th, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, lots of opportunities. I'm hoping to get some interstate flights, maybe to Queensland or maybe to Western Australia. Um, yeah, I just want to, I only have a short window, right? I just had one baby. I would like another baby. So, I only have a short window before that other baby comes, and maybe I go into coaching more and maybe look at opening up my own gym or moving to Thailand and opening up a gym in Thailand.
I want to appeal to your promoters. Organize this guy a fight quickly. Many, many fights. He deserves it. He likes to fight.
Yes.
And last question. Your son will grow up seeing his father chase goals and overcome challenges. That's a powerful example for any child. Legacy becomes very important once you become a parent. What kind of example do you want to set for your son?
I want him I want him to see me be the strong, powerful, mean Muay Thai fighter, right? I want him to see that that's what his dad is like and that's what a man is like. But he will also see the kind, caring nature that I have towards others. I was raised to know that if you are strong, you are blessed to be strong. You're blessed to be powerful. You're blessed to be a leader, right? You have a duty for caring for others, for helping others. So always be selfless. Always help others whenever you can. I think that's what I want my son to understand that you can be strong, you can be powerful, you can be mean, but you don't have to be a bad person. You still are human. You still need to care for others because I think that's when the world becomes lonely, is when we stop caring about the person next to us or stop caring about the person across the road from us that needs help. You know, I think the more selfless we become, the better the world is around us, right? If you and I, we're not going to change the world, correct? We're just regular people, but we can change the small world that is around us, and we can help people in our communities to be better, to feel better. So I think I want my son to know that that is a superpower that everybody can have. It's to make somebody else feel good.
Your journey proves that it's never too late to start something new and succeed. A lot of people think they miss their opportunity because they didn't begin young enough. But your
Mm.
story challenges that idea completely. Thank you so much for this interview, my brother. I wish you health, happiness, and success in the future. New victories in everything. In on in order not to quarrel with his wife, the child grew up happy. Thank you for the interview. You supported me in a difficult time when I was bombed by the Russians. Russian President Putin is bombing Ukraine with missiles, with rockets. And what advice would you give to someone afraid to start combat sports later in life?
My advice would be you're already late to the party. Don't be any later. Just do it.
Goodbye, my friend, and good
Thank you,
luck.
my brother. Good luck to you too.